Hey, this is Andy Grist. This is videos for our teams with information and work we've been doing just lately, and we will be doing in the next couple of weeks or so, just continuing on. So just to really quickly just talk about the defense, and that will understand why the topic that we've been working on. So the object of the defense is the back line, and it'll be the same with the midfield, but I'm just going to demonstrate with these four players. Is that they need to stay somewhat compact. They don't want to be too compact where they can't protect the sides of the field, but they need to kind of keep a balance and be ready to pressure balls in front and then be able to cover each other in behind. And so if the ball was over here, they would shift into pressure, shift to cover, and shifting to cover. And so, helping cover each other from behind. And so, as you can see, that's opened up a space on the other side of the field, and this is the topic that we're going to be discussing and we've been working on is how to switch the point of attack. And so, by switching the point of attack, we want to either try to get into this space that we've created. You could say we could go direct, but that's a very difficult ball. If you can do that, that's great. Very hard ball to play, but obviously that's a lot quicker to play the ball rather than going through extra players. And so we need these players, these central players, to help us switch the point of attack. And so if we can either switch the ball and get this player while that space is there, or what we're trying to do is separate these guys so that we can create maybe a channel through the goal. And so if they're not working at the same speed across the back and giving each other and coming at the same time, they end up getting separated, and we find other areas that we can find which are better, more direct into goal. Okay, so that's the purpose of switching the point of attack. So these central players, and we'll get the ball here to the outside forward or winger or midfield or whatever you want to call this, and see they're keeping some width. It's up to these players, and we really want to, as we receive by dropping and opening up the space in front that we can play the ball into, but more importantly, opening your hips so that you can see every possible passing channel and the ball on the other side and all the attacking play. And so you don't want to come in running this way, receiving with your hips facing here, because you obviously closed your vision to this, and it's also going to take you longer to turn around and then play out of here. So try to check at an angle with your hips open. This defensive mid or other central mid should also then drop to receive the ball, opening up another channel. You don't want to overcommit and be too tight that this ineffective 5-yard ball. We want to keep a little bit of distance, that now we are more productive in switching the ball across the field. So the object of this player is obviously, if this player loses it and makes a mistake, that you're able to cover. So you've got to find a balance of not being too close but being far enough away that you can help us switch the point of attack. So always important, again, open your hips so you can see the attacking play and try to receive by dropping off. If you are pulling a player in with you, obviously what you've done is now opened up space here that you can maybe make a penetrating run back into here and receive it in front of that player. So now we can play maybe more direct through here because of that. But yeah, always start and run from here and receive with your hips open. Now, these players, I refer to this player on the far side of the field, wants to keep as much width as possible, obviously to separate this and create seams through here, these channels, but also we want them to drop off. If they stay too high, it takes away space to play the ball in front of them, takes away that channel and that seam through here in front, but also what it does is by dropping off, hopefully it's going to pull a player closer to you. And if these guys do a terrible job of man marking, and we see it, these players shifting and this player's marking too tight, as the ball comes across, we can play the ball through that channel and get that play into an attacking play or into a crossing situation. So we stay dropped off, and we watch as the ball comes around. If we see a seam open up, and we accelerate into this lane, demanding the ball through here. If we see that there is no space to play the ball through, then we're in a position to receive to feet. And so as we receive the ball to feet, now what we want to try to do is either play the ball down the line for this centre forward to make this diagonal run, or we can play it into their feet and now maybe play a give and go. So we play the ball in and play the ball through, or we can turn and now play in back through these players and come back out this side. So we've been talking about these topics, and now we're going to actually move on we'll continue to build on this, but also move on to getting the attacking center midfielder into the game. Obviously, if this ball is played in through this player here, what that does is draw defenders in, and maybe draws defenders in, and so maybe opens channels for this player to run through. So if you can turn and play, that's great. If not, you can drop the ball back into the defensive mid, who could possibly put the balls into these channels, or switch the ball back into this side over here to this player to get them into the attack. So we're going to work on these combinations in the next week or two. And the other area that we've been trying to encourage, but have had little success so far, but we will be working on, is we should be able to have the ability to switch the ball around the back. Obviously this has a sense of danger and a sense of risk. We lose the ball here, we go to goal. So, you know, typically, if there is no way to find ways across through here, it's because their defense is packed back, and that which means that these guys are probably open. We can either use the goalkeeper if we see these players under pressure, or, you know, we pass the ball back here and we can come through and go out and back around. So those are options as well. So this topic we are starting to build on, and getting these players up into the attack, trying to switch and get them making those runs into those gaps. And so we'll build on that over the next week or two. The other thing that we're going to work on is more on the feeding through the ball through the central forward, rather than just turning and going and you know, which works occasionally but has a sense of risk. We just give away the ball, and we're going to start making combination runs through there. So